to use the word cigar as an acronym. So what we're doing is basically it's a mental checklist. Go ahead and put your feet on the pedals down there and grab that stick. Now, first thing, when you grab the stick and you put your feet on the pedals, just relax. You know, a lot of people end up having a death grip on the stick, and what happens is after a short period of time, their hand cramps, you know, and they get the legs tired. So you just want to sit, hold all that stuff like you're holding a soda watching a Monday Night Football game. C means controls, and so like you did before, I want you to move the stick left and right, front to back, and you're looking for, make sure the ailerons work like they're supposed to. Checking for freedom of movement. That looks like the ailerons are working okay. Bring the stick all the way back. There's a mirror right above your head. There you go. So if you move your head around, you'll see the elevator back behind you move.
Got it.
And then move your feet left and right, and you'll see the rudder pedals. Now, anytime your feet are on the rudder pedals, you always want your heels on the floorboards, because on the tops of the pedals are where the brakes are. You never want to get on the brakes because you'll flip upside down. You only get on the brakes when we do like the engine run up here shortly.
Okay.
Did everything feel okay?
Yep. Good
We'll
to go.
call it good. The next letter is I. Instruments. Upper left is your altimeter. I can look over your left shoulder. That's on 0. Your airspeed next in line as you scan to the right is 0. And it looks like that little black ball is out to the left about a third of the way. Now that little black ball is going to tell you how much rudder pedal pressure to use in a turn. Okay? Now, I think you'll get this because you look like you have a mechanical background. We have 220 horsepower up there. The more that propeller turns, the more torque we have. So there's an invisible force always pulling the nose to the left. So when we make a left-hand turn, you never have to use left rudder. Okay? If I was to cut your left leg off right now, you'd be fine. You would not need left rudder ever until we landed.
Same thing on ships. Gotcha.
Is that right?
Yeah, I've got about 6,000 dives and commercial diving and
wow.
treasure hunting and all that kind of thing. So, yeah, same thing. Pitch of the prop determines which way it's going to turn.
Exactly. But when we go to the right, yeah, obviously we're going to be turning against the torque, and so we're going to be using that little black ball that will tell you how much rudder pedal pressure to use. And again, treat those instruments like a car. You glance at them, get the information you need, back outside with your eyes. Anyway, so the instruments look fine. G is gasoline right above your head. There's a little glass tube next to the mirror.
Yep.
And there's a little, I filled the tank to the neck yesterday, so we have 3 hours of fuel on board. You'll see that little bobber up there. It'll move once we burn a little bit more fuel out of it. Inside the cockpit on the left-hand side, you see a little red ball that I'm moving by your left knee. That's your mixture control. Obviously, the higher you go, the less dense the air is. And you can actually, in the aircraft, manually adjust your fuel-air mixture, whereas in a car, the computer does that. You know, that's why if you see a car driving down the road with all the black smoke coming out, that's running rich.
Right.
Yeah. And right ahead of that, you'll see the little red arrow, a little red.
Yep.
It says on or off. That's your fuel valve. We want it on, or else
That's probably a good idea.
it's going to be a short flight.
Yeah. All right.
CIGA accessories, elevator trim tab. You're not going to have to move that, but it's right by your left thigh.
Gotcha.
Moving that around, I'm kind of big, so I have a little bit of nose down trim. And then the last letter we have is R, and that stands for run up. I'm going to take her back from here, Ben,
Okay.
real quick, and I'm going to check the engine. So I'm going to bring the power on up. 1,500 RPM, that's close enough. On the left-hand side of the panel, you'll see a black lever there. It's our magneto switch. So the aircraft engines are unlike car engines in the regard that we don't have a battery and a distributor. We have 2 engine-driven magnetos for the Spark.
Gotcha.
And we have 2 for redundancy in case one fails during our flight. There's always 2. And the odds of 2 magnetos failing during a flight are so astronomical that you'd win the lotto like twice. I can't even win the lotto once.
There you go.
But I keep trying.
All right.
All right, well, cool. Well, we're ready to go. Again, welcome aboard. I'm Rob back here again. Merry Christmas. You're going to have a great time here today. And I'm actually glad you came now rather than right after Christmas, because when in the summertime like this, it's calm. And when you take your first ride, you kind of want Mother Nature to be, good to you, rather than in the wintertime, it's generally bumpy.
I got you.
Bumpy ride. So here's what we'll do. I'm going to do the takeoff for you. Once we get to about 200 feet, I'm going to have you come on the controls. We're just going to do a series of turns together, Ben, one to the left, one to the right, and then I'm giving it to you. Again, the only way to learn how to fly this thing is to fly it. I will talk to you about the takeoff technique so that once you buy your Stearman before you get your license, you can't see over the nose, and so you obviously cannot see where you're going. The idea is you look straight ahead, you focus on infinity, and when you do so, you either A, see these little white runway markers going by, or out the right corner of your eye, on the right side, you'll see the little fence. So all we got to do is stay parallel to that fence, and we're going straight down the runway. So the airplane's sitting here, speeding up. The tail flies first. Tail's off the ground. It's ready to fly. We just gently bring the nose up, and we're off the ground. Energy management's essential when you fly this. We want 75 miles an hour out of it, which is about what we got. And here's some air shows, folks, for your family here. They're going crazy down there. All right. Right now we're at about 100 feet. Go ahead and put your feet on the pedals down there and grab the stick with your right hand. Now again, just loose grip. I'm still with you here. We're going to keep straight on out. Looking good. Now, to make a left-hand turn is pretty simple. You gently ease the stick to the left. Go ahead and do that. I'm just going to follow and get the angle of bank that you want and stick back to neutral. If you left the stick over there like you would a boat or a car, it's going to do a slow roll. That's not something we want to do at 200 feet. Now, if you look at that little black ball, you'll notice the ball is right between the two little white marks.
Right.
Go ahead and lower that nose a little bit. You got to maintain that speed of 75. There you go, and then look back outside. Keep the turn going to your left. So you just stick to your left. Now, see how you brought the nose up? That's it. That's good, but you're bringing it up just a little bit too much. There you go. Cool. If you come around here, Ben, you'll see there's a red and white tower over here with a little flashing light. Head towards that. A little bit more to your left. That was funny. Your daughter, when I said stall, she's like, hey, this is my dad. I think they're gonna hurt you. All right, let's try a right-hand turn. So same type of thing, just gently ease the stick to the right. That's perfect, stick back to neutral. Now look at that little black ball. See how it's out to the right? So gently push forward on that right rudder pedal. Doesn't take much. And when that ball's in the middle, the airplane's in a perfectly coordinated turn. And that's how you fly a plane. 2 minutes and 17 seconds. It really is that simple. All we have to do now is just do some turns and make you more comfortable. Look outside the airplane, roll the wings back to level. You can see how sensitive it is. Very sensitive. And again, you'll get used to that in about 3 more minutes. Ben, let's make a left-hand turn. You see all that grassy area out there? Looks like a golf course. Great place to fly. We can land anywhere out there. Perfect. That's a nice shallow angle of bank right there. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. We save the steep stuff for a little bit later on in our flight. Now, it's hard to know when you're climbing or you're descending when you're looking straight ahead. But if you look out here, your horizon's level on the wingtips, so you can see your angle of attack. So that's perfect right there. That's perfect right there. Hold that right there. It should be about 75 miles an hour. Bring the nose up a little bit more. There. Now, a lot of the maneuvers that we're going to be doing today are called ground reference maneuvers. Now, what that means is just by looking over the side of the airplane, you can see which direction you're going. For example, down below you to your right, you see that road down there? That's a north-south road. I want you to cross over the top of that road, make a shallow turn to your right, head to the north. Let's try that. So, 20-degree angle of bank, there you go. Bring that nose up slightly and add that right rudder. When you make a turn in the airplane, you always lose a little aerodynamic lift, and so the nose falls a little bit. So you always need to bring the nose up just slightly, and you actually have been doing that. And then when you roll out of the turn, you actually have to release that back pressure or the airplane climbs a little bit too steep. Over here on your left wing, see there's a fence line right here?
Right.
That's east and west. Right now we're going to the north. Give me a 20-degree angle of bank to your left. Let's head towards Tampa. And lower that nose a little bit. The idea is to keep it at 75 on the climb out. You'll get it. Keep on going to your left until we're heading to the west.
Oh, this is sensitive.
It is. Good. So, you know, basically what we're doing here, you're building yourself a foundation. You learn how to turn the airplane first, and we're getting you acclimated and comfortable to it before we press on. All right, let's try another 20-degree angle of bank turn to your right. So it's aileron, a little right rudder, a little back pressure on the stick. And the idea is to get yourself in a position where you're doing all 3 of those at the same time. Just keep it going to the right here, Ben, until we're heading to the north, which is up this way. Cool. just about at 1,000 feet. We're only going to go to about 12 or 1,300 feet, so we're just about where we want to go. Let's make one more left-hand turn. And again, no rudder on this one. You know, when you put yourself back into the, you know, it's 1942, and I'm in, you know, in the Navy or the Army Air Corps, learning how to fly. I mean, how you feel right now is how all those guys felt back then. You know, on their first flight, you're like, whoa, what? This is, you know, sensitive. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. But the idea is, keep this in mind, in 8 to 12 hours of instruction, those guys were soloing this plane.
12 hours?
Yeah, 8 to 12. And you would be the same way. I could easily teach you how to solo this thing. But just because of your background. All right, 1,100 feet, just keep it climbing here. You're doing great. There's 1,200 feet, and this is actually plenty high. Go ahead and lower the nose to what you think is level flight. We're going to do a little exercise I like to have people, our new pilots, do. Just go ahead and let go of the stick for me for a second, especially when it's calm like this. And then you can look at me in the mirror. Now look at this thing. It's so nice up here. If we didn't touch this thing, we got 3 hours of fuel on board. If we didn't touch it, it's going to be in Sarasota. It's going to be out in the Gulf someplace out of gas. So you don't have to fly this thing. It's made for an 18-year-old. You just have to tell it what you want it to do. It's really, really stable. All right, you can go ahead and grab it. So roll the wings back to level. Right now we're going to the south. What I want you to do is look out ahead of you. Right ahead of you is our horizon. That's level. Give me a 30-degree angle of bank turn to your left. Now I'm going to give you a little hint. You see those wires that are directly ahead of the windscreen? They come out of the airplane, they go to that. Those are 45 right now to the horizon. So we're looking for a 30-degree turn to your left. Let's try that. 10, 20, 30. Great. This is what we call a coordination turn. This is going to be really useful for you a little bit later on in your flight. That's why I want you to do this. Perfect. That's 90 degrees. Look what we got right here. North and south. So keep it going to your left. See this little line right here? There's one up there. Keep it going to your left until we're heading to the north. Perfect. And you're looking outside the plane. I love it. Good dude. Going to the north. Let's try the same thing to your right. Let's go to the south. 30-degree angle of bank turn. 10, 20, 30. Good. Stick back to neutral. You've added that right rudder. Nice. That's 90 degrees. Let's pick up a section line. There's one right there. There's one right there. Basically when it's back towards that landfill down there. Perfect. What do you think? Feeling better?
Love it.
All right.
Absolutely love it.
I'm going to push you a little bit more. Focus in on those wires that are directly ahead of the windscreen, okay? Those are our 45-degree wires. We're going to take the guesswork out of this next turn. I want you to do a 360-degree turn to your left. Put that left wire up there parallel with the horizon and a little bit above the horizon, and that'll be a level turn in the sky. Let's try that. Parallel and a little above. Perfect. That wire falls below the horizon. You're heading downhill, so about 3 inches above the horizon. Ah, we got that left arm over the side like it's a 56 Chevy. I think you're getting comfortable. That's 180 degrees there. 270, there's a little line right here. That's 270 here, 360s this way. Cool, great job. Now again, remember, to get your private pilot's license over there in Venice, you're gonna have to do this. It's simple. Let's try one to the right. But they allow you, the FAA allows you to go up or down 100 feet on this. So let's try one to the right. Same thing, put that right wire parallel with the horizon and about 2 to 3 inches above. Nice. And there's an airplane right behind us. You see him? He's a Piper Cub.
Yeah.
Just keep it going to your right. This is 180 right here. I saw his shadow on the ground behind us. I didn't see the airplane, so I saw his shadow.
Yeah, I saw him coming up.
Now, if we had guns, I believe we'd shoot that guy down. we could go faster than him. 270 is here. .360s here. We'll roll the wings back to level. And at this point in the game, I can't teach you anything more on how to turn this thing.
Wow.
Are you having fun?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Are you Are you feeling better than at first? Because I know at first it was like, well, you grab the stick and it was a little sensitive, and now you should be getting used to that, and you should be feeling more comfortable with the fact that you know how to fly it. The next thing is the lazy eights. Now, this is a maneuver that you're never ever going to forget. They're my favorite maneuver to do. We're going to incorporate pitch changes up and down with turning left and right at the same time.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'm going to come on the controls with you.
All right.
We're going to do one of these things to the left together. All right, so just feel what I do. It's really simple. It seems hard, but it's actually easy to do. Shallow turn to your left, about 10 degrees. There, nothing more than that. Gently bring the nose up. Good, freeze the stick right there. Don't move anything. Gravity will pull the nose through the horizon on its own. Downhill she flies. Now listen to it. Listen to the airplane. You'll hear it start speeding up going downhill. There's 70. There's 80. You hear it?
Yep.
Start rolling it. Wings back to level. Bring the nose up. Wings to level. And you're going the other way. Nice job. And ease the stick forward for me a little bit. So they call those lazy for a reason. They're really, really slow over the top. All right, what I want you to do is I'm going to have you do one to the left by yourself. I'm off the control. She's yours. Let's try this here, Ben. So shallow turn to your left. Bring the nose up. Hold it right there. Don't move anything. Let's try it again. What's happening on that one, you push the right rudder pedal a little bit, so the nose didn't come through the horizon. Let's try it again. There's your 10 degrees. Bring the nose up. Bring the nose up some more. Bring the nose up. Beautiful. Hold it right there. Look over your left shoulder, because tonight when you're dreaming, you're going to think of that. Look how cool that is. Slow over the top. Beautiful. Downhill we fly. The airplane speeds up. Listen to it. Roll it back to level. Bring the nose on up. Nice job. You're going about 100 miles an hour. You like those?
Nice.
Those are the best. Let's try one of those to the right. The only difference on what you're going to do and what you just finished up is you have to use a little bit of right rudder pedal pressure over the top, okay? 10 degrees, bring the nose up some more, hold that stick right there, push on that right rudder right here. A little bit more right rudder, a little bit more, there you go. Start rolling her back to the left, wings back to level. Listen to it, there's 105 miles an hour. Roll the wings back to level and you're going back towards Tampa.
Wow. Very cool.
So I'm going to push you now. So what I want you to do next is give me one of those to the left, followed by one of those to the right. Don't stop in between the two. But when you do this in your mind, compartmentalize. Give me the best you got to the left, followed by the best you got to the right. Do one at a time. Don't think about the whole thing because you'll mess it up. No one's around. Let's try one. Shallow angle of bank. Bring the nose on up. Bring the nose up. There you go. Hold it right there. A little air show smoke. You're at Oshkosh today. Over the top. Beautiful. Look how steep that is. Nice. Downhill you fly. Back to the right. And roll it right on through. 10 degrees to the right. You're going to pull a G or two here. You'll feel it. And bring that nose up. You're going 120 miles an hour. You can hear it. And a little bit of right rudder over the top. Downhill she flies. Roll the wings back to the left. Bring that nose on up. We're going downhill. 110. Lazy it all by yourself.
Nice.
So what do you think so far? Does it fly like you thought it was going to fly? Is it better? Is it worse? Easier? Harder? What? Give me some feedback. I'm interested.
Easier and better.
Yeah.
It really
A
is.
lot of people, they think, this is a World War II plane. It was built back in the 30s. They didn't really know what they were doing back then. It's got to fly like a tank. You know, this thing is built to military specs. You have a military, you know what the military did with stuff. This thing's overbuilt. It's built to withstand 9 G's positive
Wow.
and 6 negative. You and I are passing out at 6.
Yeah.
Actually, me, I'm out at like 4.5. I'm big. Would not make a good fighter pilot. Let's make a 180 degree turn left or right, your choice. Remember, we want to maintain that speed or it's going to stall. 75 miles an hour. And we'll go back up to about 1,000 feet.
Okay.
All right. This last thing we're going to do is that stall thing we talked about. Now, I love just throwing that out to people when I brief them. And I love looking at the ladies' faces because when I say stall, it's like they almost faint. Like, oh my God, not a stall. What's a stall? They don't know what a stall is. This is really actually kind of a cool thing, but it teaches you how to fly the airplane by using your rear end, or in this case, really, it's your ears. So keep the wings level. That will not be hard for you. I want you to go ahead and gently lower the nose, put the airplane in for a shallow dive. Tell me when you hear the whistle of the wind in the wires. You hear that?
Yep.
All right, bring it back to level flight. Now listen to it.
Yep. It left.
Yeah, so you can hear it slowing down, right? Bring the nose up some more. Gently, there you go. Listen to it. Come on back a little bit more. Listen to how slow it is. Now here's your stall right here. It says, I can't go any slower. Hold. Now listen to it, listen to it. It's going downhill the other side of our imaginary hill. You can hear it flying, and the nose comes right back up.
Yep.
So the idea is, when you fly this airplane for an hour or two, you get to the point where you never look at an airspeed indicator because the airplane's always telling you what it's doing by sound. You don't care about that.
Cool.
And if you're flying a P-51 Mustang in combat, again, if you have to look at that airspeed indicator to know, you're dead. I mean, seriously, you won't make it one mission.
Yeah, climbs at 400 knots is not a good idea.
Exactly, exactly. Anyways, that's how you fly an airplane. Up, down, left, right, fast, slow. Look, we got about 7 or 8 minutes here to go before we have to head back towards Fantasy of Flight. This is your playtime. So if you want to practice some more lazy eights, cool, we can go up a little higher for that. If you want to do some stalls, if you want to do some steep turns, whatever you like to do, this is your time. Or if you want to just go buzz the cows, you can do that. Now here, bring the nose up a little bit more. So I had you want to climb, but if you don't climb with speed, it stalls again. So remember, when it climbs, energy management, 75. So lower the nose a little bit, unless you wanted to do another stall. Did you feel the airplane stall?
Say again?
Did you feel the airplane stall? They kind of buff it a little bit, and the nose fell. There you go. I would assume you like the lazy eights, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Just lower that nose a little bit. You want to climb, we'll go up another 200 feet, but you got to maintain that speed or else it won't climb. There you go. Hold it right here. Show climb. Your upper right-hand instrument. We haven't talked about that, but that's your vertical speed indicator. That tells you when you're climbing or you're descending.
Yeah, that's
Like right now, we're going up at 500 feet a minute, so just hold it here. It'll climb.
Yeah, that's what I was having a problem with. I was trying to get it up too quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you're in a Mustang, it'll do it. You're not in a Mustang. That comes later. All right, that's 1,000 feet. I'm comfortable here. If you'd like to try a lazy eight, let's try one. So shallow angle of bank and bring it on up. And you know what? Look over your left shoulder. Look how cool. That's just a beautiful place to fly. Look down. It's beautiful. We can land anywhere.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's a really pretty area to fly around as well. Let's try one of those to the right. So the deal was you'd fly the airplane for, again, 65 hours in your primary training after you're flying or soloing in between 8 and 12. You do primary flight instruction, primary aerobatics, loops, rolls, spins, you know, the easy stuff. From this airplane, you go into an airplane called a BT-13 Basic Trainer. You'd fly that for 100 hours. Your night flight, your instrument training, and your formation work. From there, they put you in a Texan AT-6.
Right.
Which looks like a Japanese Zero to me, but they fly that. And once you could solo that airplane from the rear seat, you're ready for the Mustang, because obviously Mustangs are single-seaters.
Right.
And so there was no flight instruction in those.
Did they have water injection in the Mustang?
No.
No?
They only had a water injection in a radial engine, some of those high-powered things like those 3350s. And that from what I'm told, is that would not allow the engines to detonate if you overboost them through manifold pressure. There we go. We got you comfortable. I'm looking at you in the mirror. You're looking outside the plane. I'll tell you what. Let's try something. Roll the wings back to level. Now, remember that steep turn that you did. Let's see what we can do here. We want to do a level turn in the sky because that's what they test you on with the FAA. So give me a 45-degree angle of bank turn to your left. I'm going to give you a little air show smoke. If you do a level turn in the sky, you should fly right through your smoke. Here's your smoke. So parallel the wire and a little above. Let's see how close you can come. I'm not going to say anything here. You see, Van, flying is supposed to be fun. You know, this is why you fly an airplane like this on a Sunday, or I'm sorry, Saturday afternoon like this.
You got my attention.
Yeah. And that, keep it coming to your left, you'll see this, this smoke here. It's right off your left wing. So it's right there. And it's a little below us. That's perfect. We're at 900 feet. Yep, perfect. 850 feet. Let's try one to your right. Same deal. Nice.
This is awesome.
You know, the cool thing about the Stearman is they built 10,000 of these things, and actually they built 8,500 fly away from the factory in Wichita. They built the equivalent of 2,000 more aircraft for parts, and so I can still get new parts for this thing today. You know, I can't obviously get it tomorrow, but I can call on Monday and get any part for this airplane shipped here. So you can maintain this thing like a, you know, a new car. There it is. Great job. Now, tell me how that, what do you think about that stall?
Nice.
That bother you at all? I'm going to show you this. This is, I'm going to do this one for your daughter because she was freaking out.
Okay.
How about, and we're going to learn how to fly the airplane by using our sense of smell, okay? And people, when I say that to people, they're like, what? Smell? You'll understand what I mean. I want you to keep the wings level. This is what we call a power off stall, or they've actually changed the name to an approach stall because this is how it's going to be when we land. Now, right above the stall here, you start to smell exhaust fumes coming into the cockpit. So start bringing the nose up. Tell me when you smell the exhaust fumes. You bring the nose up
Got
some
it.
more?
Right now.
Bring the nose up some more. It gets really, really strong. You smell that now?
Yep,
So you're about 5 miles. Bring the nose up. Listen how quiet it is. And here's your stall right there.
Nice.
So basically, you get really strong exhaust odor right about 5 miles an hour above your stall speed. So if we're learning how to land and we're 18 years old, if you start smelling exhaust fumes, the airplane's saying, hey, cadet, you don't know what you're doing. I need to be on the ground, or if not, you know, add power. So you start to learn how to fly the airplane by sense of smell. It's a tremendous trainer because you use your whole body when you fly this thing. Great job with it as well.
I'm loving life.
I'm having fun with you.
This is fun.
Your learning curve was dramatic. You know, at first you're a little sensitive on the controls. It took you, you know, 4 or 5 minutes to get by that, but now you're doing really well. Let me ask you this: do you have any idea where you're at?
I think Fantasy Flight.
Very good. You got nice spatial awareness as well. Let's make a right-hand turn. Let's start heading back towards Fantasy of Flight. You can see the lake, and we'll just gently climb the airplane up at 75 miles an hour back to 1,000 feet. Between us and Fantasy of Flight, there is a town, the town of Polk City, and we want to fly, to fly over a city, we have to be at 1,000 feet. Now, look what's going on now. Look at your vertical speed indicator. Your upper right-hand instrument tells you that you're in level flight. Look at your airspeed indicator. You're going about 60. So you have the nose up really steep, but because there's not enough airflow going over the wings, it won't climb. So if you get 75 with it, it'll climb. And we'll go a little bit more to your right. Beautiful.
You want it at 1,000?
Yeah, we'll fly. What we'll do is we'll fly over 1,000, and we'll. If you like, it's up to you. If you want to demonstrate your newfound flying prowess and give the girls a little air show with the Lazy 8, that's fine. If not, we can enter the pattern to land.
I'm good with the Lazy 8.
I thought you'd say that.
I'm predictable.
You're having fun.
I'm having a ball. It's too short.
It is. It's the quickest half an hour in your life right here.
Yep.
But you know what's interesting is if you fly, and I found this, sometimes people buy hour flights, and you know, you're learning so much stuff that at about the 40, 45 minute mark of your hour flight, learning everything, it's just sensory overload. You get to a point where you're just like worn out. And so when you do a little short bursts like this, you learn a lot, rest, get back in it, you learn a lot, rest, but 45 minutes is, 30 to 45 minutes is about the maximum. There's your Fantasy of Flight. We'll make a little bit more of a right-hand turn. Just head back towards that lake over there.
Where's my red and white tower? I don't have a visual.
That's a good thing. That means it's right ahead of you. If you can't see it, that means you're going
That's a
to
good
it. Yeah.
That was the original GPS, right?
It was. They used to call it the Iron Beam back in the 20s before they had any navigational equipment, and that was railroad tracks. And seriously, you would, if you were going, you'd always have the railroad track off like a road, so you'd be on the left side of it, so that you wouldn't hit the oncoming traffic.
Love it.
There we go. Here we are at 1,000 feet, so we're looking good here.
All right, at 1,000.
Yeah. So if you lower the nose a little bit more, Now that's what level flight is. So you pick up a part of the engine that's on the horizon right now, and you keep it there. And so you know what level flight is. And if the airplane drifts up and drifts down because of, you know, thermal activity, who cares?
So you keep the engine right on the horizon in your level flight.
Okay. You know, it's a little different for everybody, you know, depending on how they sit in this thing.
Yeah.
My father actually bought this as an old abandoned crop duster in 1972. I was 6 years old then. It took him about 20 years to restore it. So I would play in this thing when I was 10, 11, 12. Finally got it done. And so this is my friend. It taught me everything I know about flying. And I was not good at first.
Really?
And it wouldn't. We've been through some harrowing times. Flew across the Rockies.
Really?
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that again. I'll stay here.
A lot of P-38 still in the Rockies.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Turbulence up there. We actually found a Corsair off the coast of Jacksonville when we were treasure hunting one year.
Really?
Still had air in the tires.
You kidding me?
Yeah, we got the number off of it and found out it was a trainer out of Jacksonville that they dumped in the water.
Yeah.
If I can find a picture of it, I'll bring it up to you.
Yeah, messing with the Navy airplanes is not really worth your time because the Navy wants them back.
They won't help me stay on the rolls. You can't pull one up.
Stupid. That's really a shame. All right, keep on going here. What we'll do here is you can see our runway here. That's the short runway we took off on. So we're going to do a lazy 8, and I'm going to have you circle around, and I'm going to have you line up the airplane with the runway down there, our short runway. So we had you do those 30-degree angle of bank turns for a reason, and this is that's the reason why. All right, they can hear you now. They can see you. Let's do this. There's a camp here with a bunch of kids off your right. So let's go ahead and lower the nose. Let's get a little bit more speed. Give me your best lazy 8. Whenever you're ready, let's try it. Let's go to your left. Let's go to the left. 10 degrees, bring it on up. Bring it on up some more. Come on back. Let the air show smoke. Come on back. Beautiful. Now let it speed up going downhill. That's the best one you've done so far. Roll it right on to your right. 10 degrees to your right. There's 100, 110, 115, 120, 125. 10 degrees to your right. Bring it on up. Little right rudder over the top.
Nice.
Back to your left. Bring the nose up. We're going 130. You hear that whistle?
Yeah. You can't really play it by smell and sound.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, give me a 30-degree angle of bank turn to your right. 180. I'm going to have you enter the what we call left downwind for runway 13. They call it 13 because that's the magnetic heading of that runway, 130 degrees. Basically, I want you to go to this big old open pit mine like where you did before.
Yeah.
Beautiful. We'll roll the wings back to level here. All right, so again, left downwind. We call it left because the wind's from behind us, and all your turns will be to the left.
No rudder.
No rudder. All right, I want you to make a 30-degree angle of bank turn to your left, head to the middle of that lake out there. So basically, we want to go that way. Perfect, we'll roll the wings back to level here, to the right. Now, it's always difficult to see your runway because it looks like a big field, you know, off here, off your left. If you look down to your left, you'll see the grove of trees down here. It's right on the other side of these trees. If you look, you'll see it. You got it?
Yep.
Inside? All right. Keep going straight. This is what we call our left base. Don't turn yet. You want to maintain that speed. You can hear it slow. Airplane slowing down, so lower the nose.
Yeah, we're at 75.
Exactly.
Oh.
You want to roll 75 or greater. There's your turn. Oh, so let's make a shallow left-hand turn. There's your runway off your left. Perfect. Your landings are only as good as your approaches. Roll it on out. Great job. There's your runway right ahead of you. You listen to the whistle.
Nice.
Pull the power to idle just like that power off stall that we did. I'll tell you what, I'm going to take it from here.
All right.
So remember that stall. Make sure your feet are not on the pedals. Listen to it. Listen to it.
Yep.
Just like that stall, same thing. And we stall the airplane down at the slowest possible forward speed. We keep the stick back on our lap, and all we got to do is keep it going straight.
Wow. Very cool.
We never get on the brakes with it. It stops when she wants to. Did you have fun?
Absolutely.
What a ride, huh?
I'm telling you. That is awesome. I'll be back.
You'll be back. Cool. Next time you're on the throttle.
Can I buy 6 packs of this deal?
Yeah, we talked to you, Joe. I just fly him. I don't know. I'll tell you what. I'm not done with you. I want you look at it. Tail wheel straight. Go ahead and put your feet back on those pedals. Heels on the floorboards. You got it. So we talked about zigzagging. Go back to our main runway,
Okay.
and then we're going to make a right-hand turn. And you want to do those little left and right guys.
Just with the rotors?
Yeah, stick does nothing on the ground. Perfect. Now you're looking to your left. Now let's just say you're at Sarasota, right, the airport there. You're looking for either people, airplanes, anything that could damage the aircraft. You don't want to hit because this propeller costs $12,000 to replace. So, and then you have to tear the engine. That's a very expensive thing to do. So you want to be very cautious here at Fantasy Flight. Alligators, turtles, and cows are our enemy. That's what we're looking for. You're doing super. As you come around, I want you to head for our brown biplane over here. Good, and we'll go straight. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to take it from here. There's a big hole in this ramp area. I'm going to try, I think you're going right toward, yeah, it's right on the lip of this thing.
Oh, I see it.
See it there? And then we're close to the junction box off the right. I don't want to damage that any more than I already have.
And I can't afford 12 grand for the prop,
Exactly. And they don't make them anymore either. So we'll bring this thing in. We're going to go all the way to the right. It will spin around. This is the cool thing about this tail wheel. You can put it in very tight spaces. Great. Now to shut this thing down, it's pretty simple. See that little ball on the left-hand side with the letter M on it?
Roger that.
Pull that all the way back. And then you'll take another deep whiff. Smell that 100 octane?
Yep.
Worth the ticket price right there.
Nice.
Nice flight.
Ah,